What's up, 49ers faithful? Your favorite team is at a pivotal moment this season, balancing its present goals with its future plans as we approach the trade deadline. As we all know, the 49ers are constantly looking to improve and sharpen the roster for a serious playoff push. And with the trade deadline just around the corner, there's a lot to consider. Before we dive into all the latest trade news, be sure to like this video and subscribe so you never miss an update on your Niners. Now, let's get into it and talk about why Brock Purdy's future contract could impact what happens in the next few days. Alright, Niners fans, we're all aware of how crucial the trade deadline is, especially in a season like this where our team has legitimate Super Bowl aspirations. By Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, all the teams across the NFL will have made their final moves for the season. Under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, the 49ers have developed a reputation for being aggressive at the trade deadline. And let's be honest, it's that kind of tenacity that makes us love this team even more. Just this week, Trent Williams said he's got his eyes on Lynch and Shanahan because, in his words, they're super aggressive in doing anything to improve our chances of being a winning football team. That's the attitude we need if we want to win our 6th Lombardi trophy. So if a trade can give us that edge, we know our front office is ready to make it happen. But here's where things get interesting. It's not just this season that the front office has to think about. The 49ers have some big financial considerations down the road, and that's mostly centered around Brock Purdy's potential contract extension in 2025. He's proven himself to be a valuable piece for us, and if he continues on this trajectory, he'll soon command a high salary to match his contributions. That future contract means that every decision the team makes now, especially around adding contracts at the trade deadline, could affect our cap flexibility. Our front office is thinking strategically, how do we make moves that strengthen our roster right now, while still setting ourselves up to re-sign key players, including Purdy, when the time comes? Now, in terms of cap space, we're actually in a good position. According to Over the Cap, we have around $54 million available, the largest cap space in the league. That's a lot of flexibility. It means that if we wanted to, we could absorb some bigger salaries. But, and here's the key, while we could add a high-priced player now, doing so might hurt our ability to carry over cap space into 2025, when we'll need funds for Purdy and other key players. One of the smart moves the team can make is to carry over as much cap space as possible into next season, giving us a cushion to sign players while keeping the core intact. So, instead of looking for a major long-term contract, it's likely we'll go for a player with a shorter-term deal who can contribute this season without affecting the team's future finances too much. This brings us to the type of players the 49ers might pursue. Don't expect a blockbuster trade for a big-name player with a hefty contract. With Purdy's extension on the horizon, it's more realistic to see the team bringing in someone on a low-cost rental for the rest of the season. Someone who can make an impact without putting a long-term dent in the cap. There are certainly players out there who could fit that mold, and if we're lucky, they could come in and provide depth, especially with the injuries we've been dealing with. And let's not forget, Shanahan and Lynch have a track record of finding diamonds in the rough who can fill critical roles and boost the team at just the right time. Speaking of injuries, we've had some big developments on that front too. Christian McCaffrey's return is looking promising, and his presence would give the offense a massive boost. He's been dealing with bilateral Achilles tendonitis, but this week he rejoined the team for practice, which brought a lot of excitement to the locker room. Seeing number 23 back out there was a huge lift, and Trent Williams even joked about McCaffrey's extensive warm-up routine and high knees. You can just feel the energy shift when he's on the field. McCaffrey is one of the league's most dynamic playmakers, and last season, he showed why he's an Offensive Player of the Year candidate. His ability to transform our offense gives us a real shot in every game. Williams even said that McCaffrey could fit into any offense, but that ours is tailor-made for him. Just having him back could be the spark we need to regain momentum. Also making strides in his recovery is linebacker Dre Greenlaw. He's working his way back from a torn Achilles suffered in the Super Bowl. He's been seen sprinting around with a helmet on, and the coaches are optimistic that we'll see him back sometime in the second half of the season. Greenlaw's return would be huge for our defense as he brings speed, aggression, and leadership. With McCaffrey and Greenlaw returning, the need for a trade might not be as urgent as it would be otherwise. Of course, there are still holes to fill, but these guys coming back can significantly impact our success in the latter half of the season. The team may decide that getting these players healthy could be almost as impactful as making a trade. It's about balancing what we need now and what will keep us strong in the future. And then there's the fact that we've seen some of our younger players, like undrafted rookie Evan Anderson, stepping up. He's now in the defensive line rotation, and while he's not a seasoned vet, he's got that hunger and drive. Sometimes it's these lesser-known players who surprise you and end up making a real difference. We've seen it before with this team, and it's one of the things that makes our roster special. Trent Williams also brought up a great point about our depth and resilience. Injuries are hitting every team across the NFL this season, and while it's tough seeing some of our stars on the sidelines, it's also an opportunity to discover talent in unexpected places. Trent mentioned how we wouldn't have seen the skill of rookie RB Isaac Guerendo or Jordan Mason's consistency if McCaffrey had been healthy. Now, we know we have depth at running back, which is crucial as we head into the final stretch of the season. So, faithful, we've covered a lot here. The trade deadline is close, and the 49ers are balancing between going all in this season and preparing for Purdy's eventual contract extension. It's a strategic game, and every decision matters for both the present and future of our team. What do you all think? Should the 49ers make a move before the deadline? Or are you happy to see them lean on internal options and wait until McCaffrey and Greenlaw are back in full force? And how do you feel about Purdy's contract down the road? Do you think it's worth saving cap space now to keep the core together? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this update, be sure to hit that like button, share this video with other Niners fans, and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll keep you posted with all the latest 49ers news and analysis. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Niners!